So basically, y'all in agreement with Charleston White because Charleston be calling people out, and.
But again, I started with the premise that a certain level of principle in politics has to be the font and the source of all of this. That's not just anyone just out here calling anybody anything for any reason is not what I'm talking about. But is this clip time stamped? Is this locked where you wanted it to start?
Yeah. Well, it should just play the whole thing.
And quick. Like I said,
from the beginning.
Wait, the Charleston White clip?
Yeah.
I clipped it up. So
that's why I said the certified directory of Uncle Tom, the Whack and Proud list and the certified directory in the intro have a detailed list of who the panel were, what criteria they did, and they went into deep research. And when they called them out and called someone a certified Uncle Tom, underneath their name is the specific list of references and offenses that the person has committed. So I don't even think we should take this lightly. I think that a certified list of Uncle Toms, and like I said, I'd even put, if I was to engage in such a thing, I would send someone an appeals process. We got way too many people claiming to fight for us that are subverting and exploiting us day and night, that get away with it, that are venerated in our community. So shout out to the Sambo Awards.
I agree. I again agree with that. So are you ready for the clip? Is that
yeah. Let's run the
and to the folks that are complaining about no more Charleston White, don't blame us. The algorithm is telling us that's what y'all want. For us, rather, that clip last week went bananas. So we have to we are nothing if not servants to the Google algorithm.
Got into entertainment. So I was a revolutionary minded nigga. So I talk revolution I talk revolution war talk. Now, nigga, I'm having fun like an entertainer. So, and some would say I sold out.
And just to be clear, this is the interview he's given after this most recent engagement with somebody putting hands on him at his show. Just that's the context, just to be clear.
This what a nigga want to sell out for. Waking up doing what he want to do every day. Having fun when he want to have fun. But what about Dewberry? Dewberry just jumped off the stage. Oh, he'll be all right. I had to think quickly, so I had to make a split decision. Because in my mind, this nigga standing up talking shit like he want to do something to me. Boy, this could be a perfect opportunity to conquer the internet and go viral. Because I no longer have that revolutionary tactical mind, I never thought to grab the knife. They let me know I was slipping. I never thought to grab my knife. I could easily tow some shit up on that stage. But because I've been having fun, going to strip clubs, eating out, traveling, living a celebrity life, I never thought. So I'm not a dangerous guy anymore. Yeah, I used to be a little dangerous little motherfucker. Nigga ain't done nothing to me. I done something to that nigga. He didn't do nothing to me. They didn't run on stage and get me. He wasn't trying to get on stage. I forced his hand to have to come up here. After I hit him with the flower plant, what was he supposed to do? Not get on stage?
What did you learn to move forward in this scenario?
That black people will wipe each other out.
You saying so?
Before we die out. So we're not gonna die off. We're gonna kill each other off. I need to do what Deion Sanders did. So that's why you see me back in dealings with Aiden Ross and Kid. I learned that it's best to sell out, that you can't save black people. I learned that I owe Deion Sanders an apology. Best thing he ever did was leave Jackson State and go to Colorado and run to the arms of them white people so his kids can be safe, his property can be protected, and he can get the money that he so deserves for being a black coach coaching for white people. I think it's almost wise and smart if you're a black person to sell out. Yeah, that's what I learned, homie. But when I come back home and look at everything, I say, you know what? Had I took that deal with them white folks, none of this shit would have happened. Because the white people would have made sure I was protected there.
That is facts.
The white people would have made sure that the reputation of the event would have stayed intact.
That is facts.
So it's best to go be with white people, so you can prosper
Fucking go over
and be progressive. Because I don't see too many black people being prosper and progressive, just dealing with black people. I've never sold dope to a black person. I've never kicked a black man in the head, ever in life. I've never stomped out a black man, never. I've never shot a gun at a black man. I've never fired a bullet at a black man, never. Never, homie. I'm not known for mistreating black girls. I don't have a bunch of black babies spread out throughout the black community and black village. I protected my seeds.
That's not what he said about
I'm married to a black woman. I didn't marry outside the race. I had kids outside the race and married the mother of my children, so I wouldn't have bastard babies. So what he's comparing himself to, homie, these niggas can't compare to me.
You got to earn your liberation.
So there's, again, when you talk about sycophants, this guy could, as he said before, same thing Trump said, he could shoot somebody and people still support him. He could say anything. He could contradict himself 15 times in a couple minutes. But even in that clip, like as you saw, he admitted he provoked the dude to come on stage. He started heckling. He started talking shit to the dude. The dudes, started saying,
talking to the women that he was with, all kinds of things. He said a lot of stuff. I saw the first 20 minutes of that interview.
The dude is flashing his jersey like, yeah, I'm Kobe or whatever. And then when Charleston escalated and said something to him, then pick up the flower plant and hit him with it, now he ready to tussle, right? And so he even talks about that. But there was a point in that interview that I didn't clip, as he talked about he never hurt black folks. He literally said he want to get a free kill on the black dude. Like he want to be able to be in a situation where he can provoke you like cops do and provoke you to anger. You get angry and then he able to kill you and be justified.
Yeah, he said that before. I've seen him say that before. He's and all of the energy he's giving there is in terms of what he has and has not advocated or done to black people is a 180 from what I've seen myself from him in video. Now, again, for me, one of the first places I go is that this is an intended message, one welcomed by the existing political and media atmosphere and environment, one encouraged to negate the work that those of us gathered here in a variety of varieties are attempting, and is, I think, serving as a psyop. Diallo, I'm just briefly muting you because the mic catches everything. There is I do, especially again after reading Tip of the Spear, this is I think part of, again, even if it's not directed as in some sort of set upon in motion agent activity, COINTELPRO, it is, as I've written with some comrades in the past or participated with their research, I should put it better that way, it is the auto-colonialism. It is the automatic performance of the colonization, and one again encouraged to negate the work that most of us are gathered here to try to do or represent. So it's bananas. And the whole thing, what I will say that I found interesting that I know nothing about is that he was talking about a trail riding community in Texas, a black trail riding community that is bigger than hip hop and extremely popular and powerful and wealthy. And I don't know anything about all of that, because he was saying he was at that was because part of what he was saying was the dude in the jersey was out of character and context because he was underdressed.
Yeah.
So that part I admit some fascination with, that I have just no knowledge of that world. But it was also reflective of the black bourgeoisie and class element that he's apparently being invited to and attracted to, and that doesn't want to be known to the rest of us or in league with the rest of us. So
Diallo, you have a con artist who's an entertainer, who claims to be an entertainer, who wants to go viral. He might can say some things that you like in terms of calling out a Dion or whoever, even though he walked that back. But again, his objective is to be viral, entertaining, and as he said, sell out. But yeah, how do you respond to the politics of that person? Could you get behind any of his calling out antics?
No, I don't support anything about anything he does, even his calling out. I think that he is as reprehensible as the people he calls out. So, like I said, if you are an individual who has a critique of Deion Sanders, of hip hop, and the many things that are worthy of our scorn, and you're going to Charleston White for insights or for validation of your position, then there's something wrong with you. Like I said, if you see a clean diamond sitting on a table and then there's another diamond embedded in a pile of shit, and you go dig the diamond out of the shit instead of opting for the diamond or the gem that's sitting on the table, then that speaks to something wrong with you. It says more about you than the person you're seeking to critique. Again, I'm a vegan and an environmentalist. Hitler was a prominent vegan and environmentalist. I support public health. Hitler was a proponent of public health. And if all my veganism, environmental, and public health insights and quotes come from Hitler, there's something the fuck wrong with me when there are infinite sources of insights,
there's the new headline,
analysis, advocacy from people who are not utterly reprehensible. And I do say that his prominence is an indictment of our community. But this is something about, the reality of culture and community. You're either thriving or you're regressing. You're either advancing or you're falling back. And the one thing that is, when you allow for a seed to grow, it's going to grow, whether that seed can bear fruit or that seed is a weed that will kill everything around it. We let Cosby go around the country and go on tour saying this type of stuff in a more articulate and respectable manner. And we let, and there's people to this day that will support Cosby. We allowed Obama, we voted for him on 2 terms when he would get up there and say, kick off your house shoes and put on your work boots and disparage us. And so then after that, we get a Kanye out here. And the Kanye will say some things, and so then we'll get a Charleston White. So these people are all along the same lines. So if we don't stop this type of shit, and when he says Black people will self-destruct or kill, he's not speaking about what Black people outside him. So he's talking about what's in his own heart and what he intends to do and what he's actively doing, self-snitching. And he can couch the fact that, oh, I hate niggas because it's niggas' fault. Black people going to die because they kill each other off. No, what he really saying is Black people going to die because I want to see Black people erased. Amos Wilson wrote about this almost half a century ago. That there are a segment of our communities that sees our solution to our issues, to solution to the Black problem is non-existent. That the solution to our problem is to no longer exist. And that non-existent can come from extinction, or that non-existence is so erase ourselves, so fully merge, as he said, sell out and do the things white folks do, desire the things that white folks do, that there is no longer a distinction between an African, a Black man, or a white man, or a European in our values, our desires, our dispositions, and our attitudes. So a lot of Black people understand that one key to fame, one key to be a right winger, to be a reactionary, and Candace Owens. And really all we got to do is give them their heart's desire. Let white folks have them. So not only do I not fuck with Charleston White, I don't fuck with anybody that platforms, that advances, that embraces, or in any way tries to justify him. I don't mess with nobody that collaborates with Kanye. I'm not going to ever watch another rerun of the Cosby Show. Just what little I can do as a self-respecting
He
individual.
ruined Fat
and a
Albert.
person.
That's the
Albert
problem.
Was never funny. That shit was.
Fat Albert
weird.
was the greatest. You're tripping. Fat Albert was essential.
That shit was some coonery and buffoonery. That was
okay.
I could never fuck with Fat Albert, and that's from my generation.
Had a lesson. Had important lessons.
Yeah. Again, stop going to the shit heap to get your lessons. Why are you gonna dig a book out a shit heap when there's a clean book on the shelf? I don't need lessons from Cosby. Anything Cosby
there were no clean books on TV. That was the cleanest book on TV.
Is right now, today, we don't have to reach back to Fat Albert.
Of course.
Especially now that we have a much greater variety and a much wider scope of media to choose. Like I said,
there has never been a better black cartoon than Fat Albert. Never.
So I guess we could have gotten to it at the end.
Like I said,
for the response questions, I know we could get to it in, but I want to get to that now. Like, Jared, could you reiterate why would you so ever give Charleston White a platform again on BPM? Like what?
Oh yeah, I starred Ministers.
It was a couple of them though. It was like a couple.
I know, but it's always representative. It's representative.
Your platform.
For me, first. Like with many things, for me at least, Charleston White, these sorts of topics are things when Minister Server, let me say this. As much as we love the regular remixers and BPM participants and family, there is and Kalonji has even made this point, there is a wider variety and a wider array of audience that we reach out to us than just who appear and participate a lot in the chat. So with the Charleston White stuff, I was introduced to Charleston White. I can't remember if it was either my students or people in the BPM community sending his clips to me saying, would you all deal with this? So for me, the interest in the willingness to deal with it is on one level, I'm like many people, I am a consumer of a lot of media, some of which is garbage. But primarily, I am someone who engages, professionally at least, Black youth from primarily Baltimore's Black neighborhoods and similar neighborhoods from around the diaspora, who themselves bring this stuff to me. And they are, to Diallo's point, in our collective detriment, they are looking to these folks as luminaries and sources for information, if not just quote unquote entertainment. These are people who are heavily platformed. I started the comment, we're assuming is from Kamau, that in a slight disagreement with what Diallo said, and I agree here, Obama, we didn't select, Obama was imposed on us. Obama was like the greatest level of psychological warfare and skill and decades of preliminary work.
Line and sinker.
Well, again, this is where we'll disagree because, again, I understand that people fell for it, so to speak, but they did because it was a well-designed propaganda and psychological warfare and political. I mean, if you even just look at the media strategy of the Obama campaign, I don't want to get too much down, but the point is they did a brilliant job. And again, they were building this 2008 or 2004 is really when he became known to people, but he had been, that was itself 20 years in the making. And most of us didn't know that. So I'm a little more, again, it's not just that we blindly accepted it. We are the recipients of the most sophisticated propaganda and mind fuckery that the world has ever developed. So I give us a little room on that. That said, now I lost the rest of my point, but
where's the disagreement?
So I'll just stop there. That you were, because it seemed like you I thought we're just reiterating it, that we fell for it. You
agree with that.
But to say we fell for it without the focus being on how that is itself a well-programmed, designed intent is, I think, missing the point. So it's like maybe it's a point of emphasis. It's where we place our emphasis.
So
I'm emphasizing the intent. You're emphasizing. I'm emphasizing the intent, and you're emphasizing the impact.
Our oppressors dug a ditch and laid some soft grass over it, and we walk and fall in the pit. And I'm looking and like,
well, I would say they more.
The
no, I would say my analogy would be more, or metaphor would be more, that they dug the pit, hid the pit, and then marched us at gunpoint to the pit, while picking off a few of us to demonstrate the necessity to get in the pit. And then we went into the pit. Psychologically, that's the effect that I think that Obama's propaganda and groundwork produced. It was that effect. It was the psychological effect of marching us at gunpoint into those ditches. So yeah, we went in there, some willingly, but yeah, at gunpoint, at psychological, and we're still in there, getting mowed down. And having Charleston White promoted to us as an explanation.
You said at gunpoint, like, God.
Psychologically, yeah, I think it's the exact same impact.
But here's the thing, in a more literal sense. The reason they developed these psychological warfare tactics is so that they wouldn't have to depend so heavily on gunboat diplomacy. And overt violence and overt tactics. The reason, the whole point of these coercive, subversive tactics is so that they didn't have to be mask off, face forward. Because they have to expend more resources when they came with the guns and the clubs.
Correct.
And it would compromise other agendas. So I think to say that Obama was both a psyop that you had to go into at gunpoint kind of contradicts it. I think that my point, but in the context I'm talking about it is, the context that I'm speaking about it is, Charleston White is a fucking degradation of that, but they all did the same thing. Cosby, Charleston White, Kanye. And I was calling out Cosby in the early 90s. And people were like, oh, you are attacking Cosby because you don't want black people to take responsibility for what's wrong with us. You're dissing Cosby because you don't want black people to be successful. You don't want black people to take accountability. And I'm saying you're either thriving or you're declining. So I'm just saying that Charleston Whites will emerge in something, and there will be those who will emerge that will surpass and be even more disgusting than Charleston Whites if we don't get this shit under control. And what I agree. You have to do is call out those that come articulate. And
that's why, and that's to the point I lost to Minister Server's question, or to the criticism. That's why I think it's important that we have spaces like this where we can call this out for what it is and criticize it, so that there is at least the potential for my students, for our potential future comrades, for those we want to build into organization, to see that these kinds of criticisms do exist. Again, that's one of the things that I thought made, for instance, Malcolm X so important and effective, that he showed the world that, yes, it's okay to be critical of stuff you're probably quietly already critical of, or questioning on some level, or at least need to be aware that there is some disagreement with. So that there we go. All right,
so
cool.
I think, but even so, as we adjust the way we organize the show, I think it's probably clear that us three, and then people in the chat, we all don't have the same objective, right? And I don't even think we all either do the same level of organizing or have the same issues that we organize around. So again, I don't see the relevancy of organizing a Charleston White, but I also am not going to sit here and act oblivious. Like, I don't know who that is. I've never heard, like, I'm not going to act oblivious because I know people, like I've had many friends and family send me shit because they think he's saying the same thing I'm saying. And so if you can get on the thing and talk about how revolutionary minded you are and all this other shit, that's all it takes for, uncritical people to consume that. Same thing as Trump saying that he's trying to stop fascism while also promote free speech, while also defunding people who talk about critical race theory. Like, he can say all this
or in Palestine,
yeah. So that's that. But go ahead.
I agree, but listen, we did our time, have we not? We done did our time.
Well, let's go on the block then.
Listening to this dude melts my earwax. It's unpleasant.